My Daily Choice brings together the house of brands so you can market a diversified portfolio of products and capitalize on the newest trends in the hottest industries. Instead of being locked into just one industry, you get to participate in all of them. Starting with HempWorks, one of the most popular brands in the booming CBD industry. From farm to extraction to bottling, HempWorks puts a premium line of hemp oil, topicals, hair and skincare, and lifestyle products in your hands. Then there's Mantra Essential Oils, the soul-enriching line of essential oils, essential oil blends, and botanical fragrances that give your customers a variety of ways to align their senses and enhance their health and wellness routines. For those who can't sit still, there's High Life Travel, the members-only travel booking portal with deeper discounts than the major booking sites. High Life Travel actually pays every time you or your preferred customers book flights, hotels, rental cars, homes, and experiences in the world's most desirable locations. Daily Sprays, the pocket-sized sprays that nourish the body with a concentrated dose of nutrients. Daily Sprays blend the best of technology and nutrition to equip your business with a simple yet potent line of effective supplements. And finally, Akashics is the ultimate cryptocurrency learning tool with comprehensive lessons for every level of expertise. It is an all-in-one solution that includes digibank, in-depth market research, economic calendars, signals, and social trading. Discover all of the exciting products and business opportunities available to you with My Daily Choice and become an affiliate today.
What is up, My Daily Choice family? It is so good to be back with you live here on the World Wide Web. I will say this, you got to excuse my voice just a little bit. We had a big event in Las Vegas, as a lot of you know, with Mastermind, and I'll tell you, I don't think I've hung up my phone yet. We've just been going and going and going. And one thing I did learn a long time ago in this industry is if you don't talk until you're hoarse, it's going to be really hard to hit the top of the comp plan and you're not busy enough. So it's time to rock and roll My Daily Choice. We have brand new products. I think our CEO and founder, Josh Wagle, is on here, and he's coming to the party as well. So before we get started, I'm going to bring Josh in and let him chat just a little bit as well. So Josh, thank you. First of all, thank you so much for the event you put off. You and Jenna and corporate there in Las Vegas, you guys put that event on, and it was incredible, like all your events. And I've got a ton of great feedback from the field, and I just can't thank you guys enough for all the time and effort you guys put into those things. So thank you so much, man. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Chris. Yeah, it was one of the best mastermind events, if not the best mastermind event that we've ever done as a company. It was so amazing and exciting to get to see everybody. We had leaders flying in from, Hungary and Romania and London and all these international markets. And of course, I got to talk to leaders that were driving from across the country to be there at the event. So it was a really amazing event. And one of the highlights of the event was this product, Fuel Factor X. And I'm going to let Chris do a lot of the training and the education on this product, but it's really weird to even be talking about this product on this webinar, and I'll explain why. So in 2009, I got started in a network marketing company, and this was the product that led me into the industry. This was the product that changed my life in network marketing. I got in at a time when gas prices were $5 a gallon. And so now I just filled up yesterday and it was $6 a gallon here in Vegas to fill up. So the timing now is better than when I got in 2009 with this product. And this product led me around the world. It led me to building an organization of more than 50,000 people. I was one of the top earners in that company. It led me to Europe. It led me to Africa. It led me throughout Latin America. It led me into Asia. And, this was the wonder product. It was the one product that, we crushed it with. And so I remember when I was coming up in that company and I was starting to do well, I got invited to a meeting. And when I was at this meeting, the guy that invited me to this meeting, he said, "Hey, you see that guy over there?" And I looked over, and it was this guy sitting in the back, and he had a cowboy hat on, and he had a belt buckle, and he had cowboy shoes, boots. And, I said, "Yeah, who's that?" And he said, "That's Chris Robinson." And I said, "Well, who's Chris Robinson?" And he said, he's one of the top income earners in the company. And he owns a construction company and a trucking company, and he's been using this product, saving, tens of thousands of dollars in his businesses. And so, I got to meet Chris, and Chris and I became, best friends. Even in that company, there were times where, we were across lines, so we weren't in the same organization. And I would fly out to do events for him. He would fly out to do events for me. We worked together, even though, we weren't even in the same team. We just really got along. We saw eye to eye. We loved supporting each other's events. And we started to work together, and we, sold hundreds of millions of dollars worth of this product in that company. And eventually, we wound up leaving the company. I started My Daily Choice. And almost 15 years later, we have resurrected this product and brought it back to life. And, this product I'm so excited about, especially because, of where gas prices are, but it's a great international product. We're able to get this product into a lot of countries. And there's something really weird about this product where it's the chemistry around it that makes it so unique. There's a chemistry that Chris is going to educate you guys on. But when you're dealing with chemistry, this product works every time. It's a science. It's not like, it works sometimes in certain vehicles or sometimes it works every time. And just seeing the testimonies coming out of Mastermind from the leaders that we gave, we gave out some free product, and leaders got to drive home. And there's already leaders saying, I got an extra 7 miles to the gallon. I got an extra 10 miles to the gallon. I usually fill up, 2 times on a road trip, and now I only filled up once, or I have a full tank. It's amazing to see the same testimonies, from 10 plus 15 years ago, right now at a time where gas prices are at an all-time high globally. So I'm really excited for you guys to learn more about this product. Chris is going to educate you guys on it. And he is the most knowledgeable person that I know when it comes to this product. He's used it in a lot of heavy equipment and trucks and construction equipment. So he's going to educate you about the product. And then I'll tell you guys about the pricing around it and a timeline for when you'll be able to order it and how we're going to get it into some of the international markets. So without further ado, Chris, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Yeah, thanks, brother. Drop a 1 in the comments if you're ready to get your questions answered on FFX. I apologize if I have messages from you that I have not gotten back to, and I'm sure every leader in this company has that, but that's what's so exciting, right? You're in it the first. There's a massive, massive crisis going on right now, and it's a global one, right? I mean, when fuel prices go up, it doesn't just affect, the price of your fuel. Fuel has just skyrocketed in like the last 30 days. It's been on the creep for a year, but it's really gone up a lot just recently. And what you're going to see is you're going to see the price of your food go up, the price of your shoes go up, the price of your cars go up. Everything you buy correlates back to the price of fuel because everything gets put on a truck, a boat, a ship, a plane, right? So they have to adjust prices. So that's the problem. We now have the solution, and that solution is fuel factor X. So if I can you see my screen share good? Give me a thumbs up, Josh, somebody.
Yeah,
all right, perfect. So introducing fuel factor X. You can save money on gas. Actually, fuel, it does work in gas or diesel. Drive further and protect the planet. So there's so many variables other than just saving money on fuel that fuel factor X will help with. It will enhance the performance of your vehicle as well. So how many of y'all think horsepower is awesome? I'll tell you right now, I spend a lot of money on a tractor that just has 10 more horsepower than one that doesn't, or a truck, or people are spending a lot of money on computer chips and things to enhance their performance. Now you can see a significant increase in horsepower by using fuel factor X. It also reduces emissions. I mean, everybody's aware that, you know, we need to do some stuff to start saving the planet and help out with climate change. And most people just aren't willing to spend money to do it, right? Everybody knows it's a problem, but nobody wants to spend money to do it. Now you actually can do it for free. You can make money protecting the planet by using fuel factor X. And another big benefit is it will prolong your engine life. Now, once I go through some of the science stuff on this, this will make more sense. But by lubricating your engine and by taking better care of it, it's going to last longer. And your car is, for most people, is the second largest investment you're ever going to make is your car. You got your house and you got your car, right? So why not make your car last longer, get more miles out of it? And especially now, I don't know if you guys have tried to buy cars recently, but they're not as easy to come by as they used to be. So you may as well be taking care of the ones that you have. And like we've already talked about, it improves fuel economy. So now you can put a few dollars of FFX into your tank, and you can pull back out $10 to $20 depending on your fuel savings. So now you're more than doubling or tripling your money, and you can do all these other things, right? Just in fuel economy alone, you're more than paying for the product. And it, for a lot of you, it might be the best investment you've ever made, unless maybe you bought Bitcoin like in 2006. But doubling your money is pretty powerful. I can tell you, doubling your money is a really good investment. And that's what's so cool about fuel factor X, is it helps with all these different things. Now, a lot of questions we get asked, what does FFX work in? It works in cars, trucks, ATVs, motorcycles, generators, boats, heavy equipment, anything that has a combustible engine. FFX will work in and do the same thing, get the same benefits we just talked about. So whether it's a diesel car, whether it's a gas or a diesel truck or a gas car, it doesn't matter. If it burns fuel and has a combustible engine, it will work in it. I've had people send me pictures of a track and say, will it work in this? Yes. I've had people send me pictures of their sand rails. Will it work in this? Yes. Anything with fuel, motorcycles. I mean, anything. And I've traveled the world selling this product too. And international stuff's pretty cool because there's a lot of places that have millions and millions of little motorcycles running around this world. And we can do a lot to help those out. So if you're going to ask me, does it work in this? The answer is yes. Now, what does it do? You don't have to stop using fuel to reduce emissions. You just got to be smart about it. We have an all-in-one solution. This product is so comprehensive or so concentrated. We get asked all the time, well, how does it work if it's so concentrated? And Josh was just talking about it. It's science. Science is how this works. It actually doesn't increase your octane. Oh, while we're on this subject, let's talk about octane. If you're using a car that you have to buy that expensive 91 octane, all you're doing is buying extra octane through buying the higher octane fuel. If you use this product, you actually increase the available BTUs in the fuel. By burning the fuel smarter, you can now drop down to an 89 octane and get better benefit than using the more expensive fuel. So that's a massive benefit. You know, I have a couple of cars and just my personal life, and everybody has these types of things. I have a side-by-side. That's a Can-Am. It's required to have high octane fuel. I don't have to use it no more. My wife's Stinger is required to use high octane fuel. You don't have to use that no more. So just think of the people you know and in your own life that's wasting money that does not have to do that anymore. It prolongs your engine life and reduces wear. Lubrication is the number one thing that crushes crushes and ruins your engine. If you can keep your engine lubricated, you will get a lot more wear and miles out of that engine. A lot of people always ask, well, 100,000 miles, a car's getting wore out. Well, that's kind of true. But if you look at the diesel world, they last 500,000 miles, maybe even 1 million miles. And that's because there's more lubrication in diesel fuel, so they can last longer. So getting lubrication into your engine is very important. Nobody ever gets educated on this. You just do what you're told and you rock and roll. But that's another massive benefit to the fuel factor X. We've talked about the increase in fuel economy and the reduction of emissions. I believe You know, we talk all the time about trying to reduce emissions by 5% in America or in the world, or 10%. We could reduce all car emissions and transportation's emissions overnight if all the fuel in the world was treated with FFX by a third. And this information we're giving you, excuse me, is not new, right? There's been so much science and testing done on this product, over 30 years worth. Josh and I and so many others on this call have been personally using and selling this product for almost a decade and a half, 14 years. 14 years. I've saved hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars in fuel. And if you take if you add on to what I've been able to do by prolonging my engine life and all the other benefits, it's millions of dollars in my life and by using this product. So I'm so excited you guys all have the opportunity to see the benefits for yourselves, because it's just an incredible product. So here's the meat and potatoes of it, as we say in the cowboy world, or nuts and bolts. An organometallic compound. This is what is the most relevant part of, this is what makes the magic happen, if you will. This is what really gives the product its go. So I want you to think about the size of a quarter. You know, a quarter is about that big around, right? Let's say that's the size of your fuel cell. By scientifically modifying the size of the fuel cell to the size of a dime, it ignites sooner. I mean, if you think about, if you're lighting a fire, right? Do you go find the biggest log you can find and put that on the fire first? Or do you start with kindling, which is smaller, and work your way up to bigger? Well, you use the smaller stuff because it ignites easier. That's all we're doing with the fuel. We're making a fuel cell, when it comes into the combustion chamber, smaller, so it ignites sooner. And it actually ignites at a lower temperature. So by lowering the temperature of where the fuel ignites, it creates a longer burn. And by creating a longer burn, there is less wasted fuel to go out the tailpipe. That's the science. There's a lot to it, but I'm trying to keep it really simple, because I don't want you to feel like you have to become an expert to sell this product. So we're not getting super technical, because I think all you really need is enough information to feel comfortable about how the product works. And you can really go do some incredible things with Fuel Factor X. Again, the lubricants, it reduces friction from pistons, pumps, injectors, everything on the top end of your engine, and will extend the life of your engine. Detergents, this is a big one too, because a lot of people spend a ton of money on a fuel injector cleaner. You know, it's actually recommended use a fuel injector cleaner every 10 or 20,000 miles just to clean out your fuel system, because fuel's not clean and you need to clean that out. And a clean home's a happy home. So making sure your engine's clean, it'll be a lot happier and run at peak performance as well. There's polymerization retardants in it, which helps with keeping sludge out of the fuel. If you have some bulk storage tanks, if you have a 1,000-gallon tank outside your house like I do, there's a lot of people on here that have farms or construction companies. You can now treat your entire tank, and all the stuff that you get in the tank, now this breaks that sludge down, so it's not plugging your filters and different things from bulk storage issues. Rust and corrosion inhibitors, it removes and prevents rust in the fuel system as well as your tanks. That's another important thing for people that store any amount of fuel. And it demulsifies. I mean, how many of you have ever had a diesel engine and you get that water in light fuel on your dash come on? Or you figure out you got water in your fuel and you're draining your tanks. Now you can just, by using FFX, it keeps the condensation from happening in the tank, and it will actually separate and remove the water from the fuel. And it's also a fuel stabilizer. So, I mean, a lot of times if you're doing it right, when you put your lawnmowers away or your motorcycles away for winter, and you're supposed to drain the fuel out because fuel will go bad sitting. Or if you have a storage tank again, and that fuel sits for a long period of time, that fuel will go bad and you got to drain it, and it's a waste of money. You can stabilize fuel for up to 20 years using Fuel Factor X, so that when you pull the trigger on your nozzle, you put it in your vehicle, it's still going to be fuel, and it's still going to operate at peak performance. Now, this is what really makes our product different. I just shared with you about fuel injector cleaners and detergents and stabilizers. And if you look at this picture, you would have to go into a gas station. I've been asked this like 150 times. Well, you can buy fuel treatments at a gas station. Why is ours better? Well, if you go into a gas station, you need to buy every one of these products you see on the right of this slide and dump them all into your tank to get the benefit of what a 1/4 of an ounce of fuel factor X will do. So you're gonna go spend $70 to $80 on fuel treatments, put them all into your tank for what you can get done with just a few bucks of fuel factor X. And it's again, it is science, and the science is what makes it work. But just having this analogy alone takes all the science out of it, right? This is what really sets us apart. Everybody knows fuel treatments work. The fuel treatment industry is massive, but nobody has it where you can get all the benefits in one single dose like fuel factor X does. Now, here's the deal. I'm going to give you all a little tidbit on what to expect and what you need to tell people to expect when using fuel factor X. The first thing you need to understand is you need to double dose the first 2 or 3 tanks. So when you first introduce fuel factor X to a new engine that hasn't been on it before, double dose. And the treat ratio of this is 1 to 10,000. The ratio is 1 to 10,000. That's crazy, isn't it? But because it's science and so effective, it's the organometallic. I'm sorry. The organometallic chemistry. That's the word I was looking for. Chemistry is what makes this happen. So here's what to expect when you're talking to people about using fuel factor X, because you're going to get a ton of feedback. You're going to have people call and say, wow, I saved 15% the very first tank I put it in. You're going to have people go, well, I didn't really notice a bunch. You're going to have people say, I actually dropped in fuel economy, right? You're going to have people say, oh, I stayed the same. But this graph right here, and they're all telling you the truth. Until you get through a few tanks of double dosing, they're not going to reach optimal performance with this product, because we don't know how many miles is on each vehicle we're sharing this with, right? We don't know how dirty the fuel is. We don't know how much bad gas they've put in that vehicle. So people just be upfront with people and let them know it takes time. What you don't want to do is take one foil pack around and give one foil pack to all your friends and family and tell them to get back with you. You will have people come back and say it worked. But it's important to make sure you're giving people enough to sample to do 2 or 3 double doses on their tank so they can really see the optimization of what fuel factor X can offer. All right, frequently asked questions. This has come up a lot. Does FFX affect warranties? No, it does not affect the warranty for a couple of reasons. I know if you open a lot of cars, you open your manual and it says, do not put anything in fuel. Well, first of all, because it's a very minuscule amount, you can't even detect this in fuel. And second of all, there has never been a negative claim on this product, and I've been around it a long time. And third, My Daily Choice does have a general liability policy. If there ever does happen to be an accident, an incident with a product or a claim, we can address that and take care of it. Now, I'm going to hit this again because I just already talked about this, but using XFT, double dose, you need to double dose 2 to 3 tanks. For generators, it recommended 3 to 5 double doses. If fuel's been sitting a long time, but you need to do a little more. And I'm going to give you a hint. I said this on stage, and it's kind of awesome because I've seen social media blow up and people's using fuel factor X. When you get your first bottle or your first foil pack, and you go to the gas station, you open your tank and you look at where you fuel your car, you're going to go, how do I get this in there? And it's going to kind of be dumbfounding for a minute because a lot of new cars have a cap over the top of them and you can't get in there. So you can either use a little funnel, or what I do in the most effective way is I just take the nozzle out of the fuel pump. I add my FFX into it and I put it into my tank and just use the nozzle. Then when you pump your fuel, it washes it all in, it mixes miraculously, and you're going to see all the magic happen. I already hit this frequently asked question. The treat ratio is 1 to 10,000, 1 to 5,000 on your first couple of tanks. Let's see. How can I be assured that FFX will not cause my engine to malfunction? History. There has been so many billions of gallons of fuel treated with this product with no negative side effects. I mean, it's just like anything else, right? How do you know that the medication you just got prescribed isn't going to have adverse effects, etc.? You just got to trust where you're getting it from and know that it's got a ton of history. And we have a whole bunch of documentation. I don't know how much we're going to put out there. That's a Josh question, I guess. But there's a ton of information you can get that will just show you all the track record of this incredible product. We already talked about life expectancy. You know, I've actually seen it personally increase, and this is through testing, increase 30 to 40% of engine life expectancy in some of my heavy equipment and different things. So that's another incredible benefit, especially if you don't like buying cars every other year, every year. And we had talked about this too. What if people don't see fuel improvement economy right away? Just make sure they have enough to get through a few tanks, and they will. But I'll be honest with you. You're going to have some amazing feedback come back from using Fuel Factor X. For example, I had somebody tell me, I've heard this one a few times. They use the product. They get back with me a month or two later, and they say, hey, Chris, I used it just like you said. I double dosed my first 3 tanks. I've ran 2 tanks since then, and I just don't think it's working. And I say, okay, tell me about it. And they'll tell me, well, before using the product, when my fuel light would come on, it would take me just under 20 gallons to fill my tank. And I've been using this for a month now, and it's still taking me 20 gallons to fill my tank. Think about that, right? And so it's a lot of this is being patient and walking people through things, but it's not a tank expander. If you got a 20-gallon tank now, you're still going to have a 20-gallon tank, but the difference is the amount of miles that you can cover on that same 20 gallons of fuel. And you can expect a 10 to 20% increase in your fuel economy. Now, I will say this, it's always better to overpromise and underdeliver. So we know that we can save 10 to 20%. I recommend you tell people, don't tell them 20, tell them closer to 10, because here's why. If you tell somebody 20% and they save 19 and a half, they're going to think you're a liar and they're going to say your product doesn't work. But if you tell them 10% and they save 15, well, now you're way more credible and you're actually over-promising and under-delivering. So I don't know how much, let's see, what time is it? I think we can do some Q&A stuff once Josh is done here, because he's going to go over pricing now and some different things. But if you have some questions on this, put them in the chat. I'll try to scroll through that chat a little bit and see what I can see. I probably can't even do that while I'm on screen share. But nevertheless, Chris Baum, maybe you can look at some of that and we can go over some questions you guys all have before we wrap this up. But first, I'm going to turn it back over to our CEO and founder, Josh Swagel. He's going to talk about pricing and different things and international stuff as well. So Josh, back to you, buddy.
Sure. Well, great job, Chris. Thanks for the education. And I know there's a lot of questions about this product and how it works. And let me just say, you know, there's going to be a lot of information that we're going to put out there on the product page. You know, when this goes live on our website, on the product page, you're going to see the benefits, the ingredients, the test data, an FAQ. All of that information is going to be on the product page. Also, on the back of the label, if you can see on the back of the label, it tells you the treatment ratio. So it's really important, you know, to point that out to people as they get the product. So 1/4 of an ounce treats up to 20 gallons of fuel. So you only need a little bit to treat a 20 gallons. And so like this bottle is a really special type of bottle. If you can see, there's a little reservoir right here. And so when you take this cap off right here, when you're at the gas station, you squeeze the middle of the bottle and the treatment's gonna it's going to fill into this reservoir, and it's already on the back, it's already pre-measured where it says a quarter of an ounce. And so that's how you know how much you're supposed to treat. And so like Chris said, you know, a really good way to do it is to pour it into the gas pump and then pump gas. Another way to do it is to get a funnel. If you want to get a funnel, you can put the funnel on your gas tank and you can dump it, you know, right into the funnel. And so a 4-ounce bottle of this product will treat 320 gallons. Okay, so this 4-ounce bottle treats 320 gallons. The foil packs are more single use. Each foil pack contains a quarter of an ounce, treats up to 20 gallons. And like Chris said, what's really important is that you double dose your first 2 to 3 tanks. The reason why you want to double dose your first 2 to 3 tanks is because you may have a lot of buildup already. And so your first 2 to 3 tanks, you want to clean as much as you can, and then you can drop down to a single use. And I know there's a lot of questions like, you know, can I use it in this vehicle or this engine? And like Chris said, the answer is yes. It works in any combustible engine. That's gas, that's diesel, that's lawnmowers, that's you know, trucks, semis, cars, boats, ATVs, RVs. You know, you can use it in any of that. And like over the years, there were so many testimonials in all of these different applications. So one more thing I want to share with you guys that is important to understand is the organometallic chemistry. This chemistry, okay, was developed in 1973. And so in 1973, there were 2 guys that won the Nobel Prize for this chemistry. That's the chemistry that's behind this product. And My Daily Choice is the only network marketing company that's going to be offering this product. We have brought this product back to life. So you guys are in a really good position, because with where gas prices are right now, and it's not just here. You know, when I was at the mastermind event, I was talking to, you know, the Hungarian and the Romanian leaders. Gas prices or fuel prices over there, $6 a gallon, $7 a gallon. Some places it's $10 a gallon. And so we're in a really interesting time, and this is a product that works every time. So let's just quickly talk about pricing. So one foil pack, which Chris, I don't know if you have that slide still. Can you pull that slide back up? So if you see the green foil pack, those work really cool. You just tear them off and then you squeeze it into your gas tank. And you are supposed to use this every time you fuel up. Okay, so that is a question that I see that keeps getting asked here. Yeah, you're supposed to use it on every fill up. And so that foil pack is $4.99, and it generates three business volume. And so what I love about this analogy that I'll give you, and Chris did a little bit of it on stage, is just imagine for a second that you walked to an ATM machine and you put a $5 bill into an ATM machine, and it spit back out a $15 or $20 bill. You know, you put 5 in, spits a $20 bill out. The question that I would ask you is, how often would you go there? If you knew that if you entered $5 into that ATM and it spit back out 20, how often would you go there? Would you be there all day? Would you be there 24/7? Would you? And here's another question I'll ask you. If I told you that I would pay you every time you referred people to that ATM machine, how many people could you refer? You would probably say, well, I could get the whole neighborhood. I could get everybody. I could get all my friends, right? And so that's what I love about this product, is this is a product that pays for itself. You can't say that about a lot of other products. You can't say that about nutritional products. Nutritional products, you know, they're amazing. We have some of the most amazing nutritional products in the industry, and they have a specific benefit for weight loss, for skincare, for sleep, for energy, for all these things. But this is a product that has no demographics. Doesn't matter if you have a certain health condition. It doesn't matter what your health goals are. None of that. This is a product that we all have something in common. We're all using gas. We're all filling up at the tank. You know, we're all going to the gas station. And so this is a product that pays for itself. And so the 4-ounce bottles are going to be $59 and 40 BV. So you can get one of these for $59, 40 BV. And then if you want to get 16 foil packs, those are $69 and 40 BV. And we are going to be putting an executive pack together. It's going to be 20 foil packs, and it's going to be 1 4-ounce bottle. That'll be $139 and 90 BV. But those are going to be the options that, you know, that we launch with. And yes, you'll be able to put them on subscription, and there's going to be a discount, just like all the other products in 2.0 if you put them onto subscription. So timelines, we're going to be making it available for pre-order the day we launch 2.0, okay, which is April 8th. So sometime during April 8th, we're going to be going live with the 2.0 system, and the Fuel Factor X will be on the website. It's already on the website in our staging environment. I've already played around with the cart, adding it, putting it on subscription, putting it off of subscription. It's absolutely incredible. I can't wait for you guys to you know, get access to this product. So the way it's going to start, it's going to be pre-order April 8th, and it's going to ship first in the U.S. So by April 15th, we should be shipping in the U.S. So it's really only a week later. We've ordered a ton of product. It's coming into Vegas. And so we're looking at April 15th as our U.S. ship date. And then we're going to be, you know, aggressively rolling it out into the international markets. And one of the nice things about this product is it's easier to get into the international markets, more so than nutritional products. Nutritional products are much more difficult because of ingredients. They're ingestibles. You have like the FDA or a regulatory organization you have to go through and get the product registered. But with this product, you know, in a lot of countries, it's already registered in, or it's very easy to import. And in a lot of cases, you can even ship it from the United States into a lot of countries. So a couple markets that we're for sure bringing it to is going to be Europe. Europe gas prices are huge. We have a great fulfillment center in Europe. So we'll either be able to ship from the US directly into Europe, or we'll be able to get it into our European you know, shipping and warehouses to ship throughout Europe. Canada, it'll be really easy for us to get it into Canada. So we have a vendor that we'll be able to use to ship into Canada. Latin America, we're working with Hector, who's on this call translating, to get it into all of the Latin America markets. So we're really excited to get it into Latin America. I would estimate that after we put it available for pre-order, I would say within 3 to 4 weeks, you'll see it like rapid fire in all of these other countries. We're working on getting it into Australia, New Zealand. You know, Chris and I had a big organization in those markets. We're also working on getting it into the Asian markets, Japan, Taiwan, Philippines, and some other countries that we've had a lot of success with this product before as well. And so that's the landscape of what it looks like right now. You know, April 8th is the day. So our new 2.0 system is going to go live. You're going to see this product get added to, you know, to the website. And I think you guys are going to love it. One thing about this product is it is going to be split shipped. You can't ship a fuel additive, you know, with nutritional products. And so just be mindful of that. We're not going to put Fuel Factor X in with a canister of body melt. It's not going to happen. It has to be shipped. It's a regulatory thing. They have to be shipped separately. So, but you can build a cart. You can order your Fuel Factor X, and then you can order your nutritional products separately. But I'm really excited for you guys to get this product. It works every time, and it's so amazing after all these years. I'll just tell you a quick story, because this happened to me the other day. And then, you know, Robinson, I'll kick it back over to you to close it out. But so yesterday, I was doing some filming, okay, with this, okay? So I was doing some filming. And so we have this new presentation that we're launching on April 8th. And so this is another reason why April 8th is a big day. You have 2.0, you have Fuel Factor X, and you have a new presentation. And this presentation is like if you could if you could pick one video that you were going to use to market your business that hit everything, right? The products, the culture, the comp plan, the system, the vision of the company, the story of the founders. If you could pick one video to promote right now, what would that video be? We don't have one for all that. They're all separate. You have to have a separate product video, a separate comp video, a separate systems. There's all these separate videos. That's all being combined into one video. So I was filming, Fuel Factor X at the gas station so that I could clip that into this new presentation. And so anyway, I was driving my Resvani tank, which is already it's like a ridiculous vehicle. I don't even know why I bought it, but it's like if there was a zombie apocalypse, outside, or there was like Armageddon, this would be the vehicle that you would want to be in. It's like bulletproof, it's armored, and I got it for a birthday present. Jen got me it for my 30th birthday, and I was like, great. If the world ever ends, I know exactly where I'm going to go. It's in this vehicle. And so when I drive it around, everybody's like looking at it like, what is that? It looks like a Batmobile. And so anyway, I'm driving it to the gas station, and the film crew, they're in front of me, and he has his head outside of the trunk of his vehicle with his big camera filming my car as we're driving to the gas station. And so we're both going like this. We're driving to the gas station, and I pull in, and he gets some footage of me coming out of the vehicle, and he zooms in real close on the bottle, and I open it up like this. I put the lowest octane in the car, and as I'm standing there doing all this, all these people at the gas station started coming up to us, and they're like, "What is that? Like, what are you first of all, what are you driving, and what is that stuff you're putting in your vehicle?" And anyway, I was really short on time, but I can tell you that if I stayed there, I would have signed up the entire gas station. I would have signed up the entire gas station if I was there for more than 30 minutes, because everybody was coming over wanting to know what this was. What am I putting in my vehicle? So this is a really interesting product, because right now everybody's talking about gas prices, right? And, back then when I was a distributor in the field, that's all I did. I recruited more people at the gas station than anywhere else. I'd get out, I'd put this on the roof of my car, and whoever was standing next to me, I'd say, "Hey, isn't it crazy how expensive gas prices are?" And they're like, "Yeah, it's crazy." And I'm like, "Well, thank God we've got this product." And I'd point to it on the top of my car, and every single time somebody would say, "What is that? What is that? What, you're putting that in your car? What, can I get that? Can I use that? It saves you money on gas." And so that was my strategy of piquing interest. That's all I did, is I went to the gas station, I'd pique interest, I'd meet people, and I generated a lot of customers. And, once you use this product and you get better fuel economy, then it's really easy to want to refer people, to it. So I brought in a lot of customers first that wound up, upgrading to becoming a distributor in that company. So I'm, again, really excited for this product. I think it's going to be huge for My Daily Choice. It's going to be huge for the field. It's a different product. It's a very unique product. There's maybe one or two companies in the whole industry that have ever had a fuel treatment ever, right? It's not like you can pull up like 20 network marketing companies selling a fuel additive. It just it's a very rare product. And so you have kind of an unmatched, you have an unmatched competition, right now, where there really is no competition in our industry for this product. So Chris, if there's anything you want to add to that, I'll let you do that, and then we can end here in 10 minutes.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks, man. As you were talking about your gas station memories, a lot just went flooding back. I literally used to keep, and this is back, and I was slow to the tech world, but 2009, I didn't even start Facebook till like 2010. And that was just so I could, one of my friends asked me to water their plants on Farmville. I mean, I remember Farmville. That's what got me on social media. Anyways, so I was really old school. I was in living rooms every night, drawing circles on whiteboards. I literally kept a whiteboard in the back seat of my pickup and would go fuel up. And I probably in my life drew out somewhere between 500 and 1,000 comp plans in the gas station parking lot, because I'd be like, hey, just like Josh said, thank God we got this. And then they're asking me how it works and I get paid. And I just draw out a whole presentation right there on my tailgate of my pickup. So anyways, it's so awesome. And thank you so much for bringing this awesome product back to the world, because the world needs it more than ever. Okay. I went through, I scrolled, seemed like 50 million comments. Looks like everybody's fired up. You guys fired up? You guys ready to go out and change the world with FFX? It's going to happen. But I will tell you this, don't sleep on it. Get going now, because everybody you know is going to hear about it. It may as well be from you. All right. Yeah, that's awesome. So here's the deal. I want to hit a couple of things. One thing I did not mention, I don't think, and it came up in the chat, is money back guarantee. There is a money back guarantee, just like we have in all of our products, a 60-day money back guarantee. So this is a very easy pitch. Hey, Josh, I just seen you commenting on Facebook about how you hated the price of fuel. I have a product that I know will save you 10 to 20%. You're going to be able to double or triple your money for every dollar you put into your tank using our product. Are you willing to try it for 60 days? And if you don't love it 100%, we'll refund your money. This is a simple conversation. Simple conversation. So yes, there is a money back guarantee. And then a lot of people, I've seen it like 6 or 7 times, people talking about ethanol. As you all know, 2009, 2010, ethanol got introduced to fuel. It's actually in Europe, they have more ethanol than anybody, as far as if I'm correct, but they have ethanol is a problem. And ethanol does burn cleaner, but it dries out your engine, which is exactly why you need FFX with the lubricating factors to put that moisture back into, or the lubrication back into your engine, so it's not so dry and your injectors aren't failing near as often. So ethanol is a big one. And ethanol is going to come back, I believe, everywhere. So it's important to use this product. So it's actually more important to use it in ethanol fuel than not. The biggest question, I think, Josh, and this isn't going to surprise you, bulk pricing. Let's talk about this. Let's address this right now. So a 4-ounce bottle, that little bottle, Josh, hold that up again. For some reason, I don't know where mine's at. I gave mine away. 4-ounce bottle, that big, treats 320 gallons of fuel. 320. Some of the biggest farm tanks are 10,000 gallons. All you got to do in them big farm tanks is put 3 of those in it. 3 little 4-ounce bottles will treat a tanker. The semis you see going down the road are 7,800 gallons. 3 bottles will treat an entire tanker truckload of fuel. So when you're asking about bulk, yes, that's what the 4-ounce bottle is for, is to treat those bulk tanks. So I wanted to address that. A 4-ounce bottle is actually 16 20-gallon fill-ups. Somebody's asking that question a bunch as well. So that little bottle, Josh kind of addressed it, will treat 320 gallons or 20 average or 16 average fuel tanks of 20 gallons. So it's, I am so happy for everybody on this call and your teams and your friends and your family, because this, in my opinion, and I've been around network marketing full-time for 14 years now, with fuel prices at $5 a gallon, there is nothing in our industry that's easier to talk about, easier to share, and easier to sell than FFX. And I know that's a big statement. Yes, I was here when HempWorks launched. This product's easier. HempWorks is an incredible brand, but you go back to just looking at social media, looking at everything, everybody's complaining about fuel price. Everybody is. It's on every news outlet. They're doing the marketing for us. I love getting on TikTok. There are some very ingenious people doing TikToks about gas prices. And anyways, it's fun to be able to save people money. Just like it's fun to be able to help people get healthy. It's fun to help people be able to lose weight. It's fun to help people do everything we do, look beautiful, right? Make money with crypto and Forex, etc. But I can tell you, this FFX product will be the easiest thing that you've talked about in a really long time to share with your friends and family. So I know there's probably a ton more questions out there, but just stay tuned. As 2.0 launches, there'll be some documentation uploaded onto our website and things like that. So you'll have all this information. Yeah, make videos. Jeremy Reynolds, I got to give Jeremy Reynolds a shout out. I don't know if he's on here. I'm sure he is, but he did a pretty cool video this morning that I made on last night, but I seen it this morning, filling up his big beast van and telling everybody how it's a secret. And anyways, go look at that, because that he's piquing interest. And I'm going to leave it with this, and then I'll let Chris Baum tell you guys how much he loves you and send you on your day. We have the ability with our awesome system to set up free accounts. So what I'm personally doing right now is everybody that's excited about this Fuel Factor X, I'm not making them wait till April 8th. I'm setting them up on a free affiliate account. That does two things. One, it puts them in position so they're not getting leapfrogged as a pre-enrollee. They're not losing their positioning. They're sitting there as a free account, so they have position, right? The other cool thing a free account does that a pre-enrollee doesn't have is they get a username and they have a link. They can actually start sharing a link and pre-positioning their teams, right? So just imagine if you had 500 people or 1,000 or 10,000 people on free accounts waiting for Josh to do a webinar on April 8th and say, go. Your life will change and you'll have the biggest payday you've ever, some people, and I know this will be true, on April 8th are going to make a year's salary on that day. But they're not going to wait till April 8th to do it. They're going to start right now. They're going to pre-position. They're going to put people in. And I've been doing this, and I think it's kind of funny. I'll share this with you too. I've been getting people excited about Fuel Factor X, getting them setting up their free accounts, and then I get emails, so-and-so placed an order. I'm like, oh, well, they like nutritional sprays too. Oh, well, they like HempWorks and tinctures as well. So just getting people in, they're looking at all of our other phenomenal products and really opening their eyes to what My Daily Choice really has to offer. I can't wait for April 8th for the Fuel Factor X, but I'm just as excited, maybe even more excited about the 2.0 that I know Josh has spent a year of his life, probably 2 now, just making sure this thing is awesome. It is the best software that the network marketing space has to offer. I would argue it's as good as any software you see in the billion-dollar retail companies and e-commerce companies of what's coming down the pipeline.
Chris, on that
for My Daily Choice. Yeah, go ahead.
Showing you and I were on Zoom this morning. If you like on the new system, you can take a product page and replicate it in your replicated site section, and you can promote just that product page. So if you want, if you want to promote just Fuel Factor X, you could take the Fuel Factor X product page, copy the URL, put it in your back office, hit copy, and then that gives you your link that you can promote to your prospects, where they will bypass the homepage and go directly into the product page that talks about the ingredients, the benefits, the FAQ, shows the product. And you can do that with any of our products. So you could, if you want to segment your marketing like that, you can do that. You could build a shareable cart. If you want to take the Fuel Factor X executive pack and put that as the shareable cart and send that out to your team because you want everybody to get on an executive pack of it, you can do that. If you want to do it with just a foil pack or just 16 foil packs, you can customize how you're going to market your business with this product and all of the other My Daily Choice products. And so when we say like this is a game changer, you know how everybody says that in network marketing, but like Chris and I, some of the other leaders that are in MDC, we've already sold this product before. So we have a little bit of a different perspective. Now we sold 100 million plus of this product with no system, no tech, horrible marketing. What are we going to do with it now?
No social media.
Yeah, no social media. We're going to have all this amazing tech, bringing one of the best products back to life. So I'm really, really excited. And it's kind of like for Chris and I, it's a little surreal. It's like a celebration because it's like a trip down memory lane. We've done so many meetings around the world for this product, and we just can't wait for you guys to get your hands on it. So thank you guys so much. I think we can just end now because we're right at 11. So thank you guys so much. There's going to be more information posted. So if you have questions, don't worry. Your questions will get answered, and you'll have all the information you need for this product. So thank you again. And April 8th, can't wait. You guys are gonna be blown away.